In every man's life, there comes a time when destiny calls upon him. That time is not now for us. We're just watching anime to find the best anime. Is that destiny? It kind of rhymes with destiny. I don't know.
I'm Tristan.
I'm Miles.
I'm Geoff. And this is our quest for the best.
Perfect. No notes.
The quest where we watch a bunch of anime to make the best anime of all time in a numbered list eventually.
I'm glad you clarified that because it sounded like we were going to make the best anime of all time, which would also be dope.
I don't believe that we will ever get in a position where we would be able to create an anime that we ourselves would put on this list.
Maybe speak for yourself, Tristan.
Yeah, speak for yourself, bro.
Okay.
I think that critics don't necessarily make good movies. There's like that one movie that Roger Ebert wrote. I don't even remember what it is, which is case in point, right? Like I remember his reviews. I remember what he said about movies. But I think we could make he's written for.
I think we could make the best anime equivalent to The Perfect Car for Homer. I think we could do that.
I actually think all three of us could do extremely good isekai on a scale of isekai, but I don't think any of us could do a
low bar.
Re:Zero. Well, no. I think there's some pretty good isekai out there, and I think we could contribute. Like, I think our minds all work into that vibe very well, and I think we could bring some really cool cross sample. Like, to be honest. There's this Catoya contest like a year ago. I mean, I think they run one every year with J Novel Club where they're like, we want you to write a light novel, like, and we're going to vote on it, right? And I'm like, well, I know I kind of work in the industry, so like I probably shouldn't enter this. So if I do it, I have to do it under pseudonym. And then I wrote like 5,000 words about a Napoleonic era soldier who got isekai'd, and it was not good.
I've got like a back pocket isekai project that I will write eventually. I've told you guys about it. I don't want to give away the high concept here.
We all joined that one Discord of like content creators that was it for NaNoWriMo or something that we were all like, we're going to write. Yeah. And then nobody did anything.
And then we did not because we're all too busy creating content.
I know this is an aside and going to be annoying to the listeners, and I hate to do this to you all, but Geoff, your idea that you've spent hours telling Tristan and I about, it undersells it to call it an isekai. And I excitedly await for when you have somehow hundreds of hours to write it.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the isekai one. One. Okay. But it undersells it, you think, to call it an
I
isekai.
do. And so this is kind of the problem with the isekai is it's kind of like got some baggage now, I think. And so like, I don't want to be unfair to isekai because I do enjoy quite a few isekai. But
yeah. So you think that if we made our own anime, we could do a good isekai?
Yeah.
So not like Re:Zero or Mushoku Tensei level of isekai, more like smartphone, more like...
So here's the other thing. I think that Miles could make a really good slice of life office comedy.
Okay.
Wotakoi, but an isekai. Go.
Yeah. Tristan, potentially you could make a really, really good hyper-specific, hyperfixation-oriented fantasy series.
Yeah.
Is this a compliment? Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of the things that I end up getting hyperfixated on, which we'll get to momentarily.
I mean, like a bookworm type thing, but not isekai. But maybe isekai. I think I could do a shonen battle series, probably, if we're going outside of isekai.
I agree. You could rewrite Sao.
I did rewrite Sao in a very successful video. Podcast. We kind of went off the rails before we were even supposed to go off the rails with our question of the week from Lauren via email. The question is, what do you think is the show / movie / etc. most impacted by another director? For example, Ikuhara's conversation with Anno impacting Evangelion.
Well, I mean, that's kind of hard because unless they like admit it themselves, we're only kind of guessing on whether or not things have been inspired. So I know like Imaishi was pretty inspired by like Tomino, and
Kill Bill.
Yeah, and like the old Votoms and Future Boy Conan stuff back when he was doing like Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill and all that. But that's only because I think he admitted to most of that. I could be misremembering.
Imaishi, while working on Promare, was talking to the creator of Soul Eater, who had just started working on Fire Force. I don't think that actually impacted either product, and they probably made a conscious effort to not overlap. So maybe in that way, like them being aware of each other doing it.
So that's like an anti-influence. We're doing our best to not be influenced.
Yeah, but like probably once they were aware, they were both like, "Oh shit! Well, I gotta make sure I don't do anything too triggery with Fire Force," and Fire Force is like, "Gotta do," Promare. They were like, "We can't do anything too Soul Eatery here." I don't know. It's hard, right? Because there's just not that much English accessible information about.
I mean, literally yesterday on eBay, I purchased An America's First 5 Years of Interviews, which is just exactly this. Like,
okay,
it's from like 98. It's like 93 to 98, and it's just interviews with anime directors about this exact topic. So I can't wait for that to arrive.
And then you'll have some good answers.
And I have like a bunch of those An Americas, and that's exactly it. Like I have a bunch of old magazines, and I've done a lot of interviews, right? Like I'm trying to think. One of my favorite interviews I've ever done is with Ishikawa Sensei, the director of No Game, No Life and Place Further in the Universe. I couldn't really get her to give up too many names, but she did mention a couple, and I'm blanking on them now. Did I talk about Oshii on the Patlabor episode in regards to like Tarkovsky, Andrei Tarkovsky?
I feel like you have
influenced Oshii. I feel like it came up because I feel like we talked about the really long candle walking scene from that one.
Yeah.
Tarkovsky.
Yeah.
Like Shinichiro Watanabe, he took a lot of inspiration from like various American films, right? But I can't name any of them off the top of my head.
Well, no, he said John Woo a lot.
John Woo too, yeah. But like specifically, I think early Lupin was like a big inspiration for him, and specifically not the Miyazaki stuff, which was interesting. He took from a different director who was like heavy on early Lupin, I believe.
And then, I mean, you can get into how much was Miyazaki influenced by Tezuka.
Oh, you know what? We're making this way too complicated. It's Makoto Shinkai. It's his entire career. And it's Hayao Miyazaki.
Oh, I thought you were going to say freewallpapers.com.
But like...
Oh, man. So much of our podcast is going to be just bashing Shinkai every time he comes up.
So the thing is, I do like Shinkai.
I hope he doesn't listen to our podcast.
No, I do like Shinkai, and we
all do.
We've caveated all of it, but also the fact that movie that made him famous, 5 centimeters per second, is known as 5
wallpapers per
screenshots,
second.
Wallpapers per second.
5 wallpapers per second.
Like, to me, people say that as a benefit, and to me, I'm like, oh, so that's it, huh? That's why you love the movie, huh? Yeah.
I mean,
wow,
it's got a vibe.
It's got a vibe about like waiting for the last train at a Tokyo subway station.
Hold up a sec.
You probably can't hear Geoff saying "hold up a sec," but he's grabbing a thing.
When I was much younger, I bought the rough guides to much younger, when I was like a teenager, and I believe that like if I go to the rough guide to anime, this is like the canon. It's got the 50 greatest anime, and yeah, look right here, 5 centimeters per second. 5 centimeters per second.
No, I think there are 5 to 10 minutes of like an A+ movie in that movie, and that's when he's on his own when it's really cold on the train going out. When he's on the local train, and he's just kind of like being on his own. And I know that's a lot of the movie, but there's like a couple minutes of it that are really good when it's particularly cold, and then the last like minute of the movie is exceptionally good.
I feel like 5 centimeters per second maybe more than any of his early stuff, really, really suffers from the existence of Your Name, which kind of hits the entire emotional texture of 5 centimeters per second from like a more conceptually interesting angle.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I think...
okay, it's not mentioned in my book at all. Never mind.
So when I was doing my panels on Mamoru Oshii, and God, there's so many good interviews with Oshii that are not translated. I have like a book of them that I just like need to pay someone. I reached out to a translator like 9 years ago to get that book translated, and I still haven't.
And it's not like you don't know translators.
Well, they're all
actually
busy.
I mean, I like if we're talking about, if we flip the question around a little, Oshii is probably one of the most influential directors just overall, because he had like a lot of proteges for his various movies and projects who then went on to make their own OVAs.
Would you say that Oshii was more influential than Tezuka?
No.
No.
Okay.
No one was more influential than Tezuka, but like...
So I would say Tezuka's like arguably more influential as a producer.
I mean, I think as a manga artist too, but...
I mean, as a manga artist, which indirectly affects... the entire storyboarding of anime, but like I think that his biggest impact on the anime industry was just like figuring out the industry side of it, and that like no, because Astro Boy like writing wise,
Tetsujin 28. No, I mean
like he established the entire canon. There's just no arguing Tezuka's not the most influential guy.
I will say Oshii, one last thing on Oshii, which is the ending of Angel's Egg is basically the same exact ending as Mir Zircolo, the Tarkovsky film. Like it's that same, like just spending like 4 minutes slowly zooming out to the highest possible scale, and it's just like that is my hands are already in the proper position. That's absolute cinema to me.
I mean, you know what? Plenty of anime has been ripped off by live action films. It's okay.
And vice
anime
versa,
occasionally rips off.
I wish more anime were riffing off Kon, though. Not ripping off, but like just kind of following in that aesthetic film footsteps. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean, anything. Yeah.
But who wants to get compared? That's one of the other problems with anime is a lot of directors are going to be careful to crib too much from anyone's style except for Miyazaki's, because they're like, don't want to be compared, and then that's like impossible shoes.
I mean, they crib a lot from Shinkai too, but there's no risk of a negative comparison there. Sorry, I'm being so mean. That's not even true. That's not even true.
Yeah, unlike the guys that made Black Swan by cribbing off Kon.
Well, no, that's not. They just ripped that off.
straight up, and Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
Just we can have a separate conversation about Darren Aronofsky and how his entire career was just straight stolen from Satoshi Kon another day.
I mean, have you ever tried to watch the Inception hallway scene back to back with the Paprika one?
Oh, not back to back. Well, that's also because I haven't watched Paprika. I own it, but I haven't watched it.
Well, that's a.
It's like
soon
again.
Podcast.
Like I haven't watched Pocoroso, so there is a Satoshi Kon movie I also haven't seen.
Yeah,
I own it. I think I own it.
There's only five things. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean Paranoia Agent, Paprika. Yeah. But yeah.
I still got how much I paid for it.
And Satoshi Kon's. Oh no! I knocked the Millennium Puzzle off and it broke.
Looks like you got to put it back together again.
I mean, for real. That's gonna be such a pain in the ass.
That's what Yuki's grandfather said.
But hey,
I'm sorry.
You breaking it has now been memorialized for the world.
I was just trying to pull Satoshi Kon's opus off the shelf, which a lot of people haven't heard of. It's good manga.
I mean, I'd reach my own copy, but it's all the way up there, and I'm not going to try and reach that right now.
Well,
I can't reach
wish you had before I...
I didn't even know what you were doing, buddy.
I thought you were going for Seraphim's End, which is the collaboration with Oshii did.
Yeah, I mean, my copy of Opus is all the way up there, right next to my physical copy of Pluto.
Technically speaking, they didn't specify anime for show/movie/etc. or for director for that matter. So we could go in more abstract directions there. We could just say Black Swan.
Yeah.
And that's just pretty reasonable.
Well, I mean, I would rather get that out of the way than give any credence to that discussion during a Perfect Blue episode. I'd much rather just talk about Perfect Blue when we get to it.
Instead of having to
bring up, hey, you remember that time it got ripped off?
You remember that time that guy completely jacked all of Cone's shit?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the question, Lauren.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good question. Very interesting discussion.
So then I guess we're moving on to
our side quest, which Tristan, you're queuing us up.
Yeah, so our side quest for this week is another fetch quest. We haven't done video game related fetch quests in a bit. Pretty much since one of our intro episodes when we did Avowed, I think. I don't know if we've touched video games all that much since then. So the fetch quest this week has been My Hyperfixation, which is a little video game called Blueprints. And we're probably dating this episode hard because by the time that it finally launches, no one's going to give a care about Blueprints. But at least at this exact moment when we're recording it.
I mean, I think it's also true now.
What, that people are already sick of Blueprints?
No, that it's kind of lost its moment in the ether.
I suppose, because it's a game that is doing, what's the best way of describing it from a meta perspective? It is a very reviewer-friendly game and not a very good general audience game, if reviews online are to be believed. Critics love the thing, but then it's getting trashed by the general public, who are just like, what do you mean this is like game of the year quality? And they play it for maybe 30 minutes to an hour and they don't do anything, don't get anywhere, which is really sad because Blueprints is a puzzle game. I'd almost want to call it like a roguelite game, but I don't think that's
what it is. No, it's literally a roguelite. I mean...
No, roguelite, he said.
Light.
Yeah, roguelite. Yeah, it is. That's the genre.
Basically, what it's about is you play this little boy. I can't remember how old he is. He's 10, 11, 14. Somewhere in there. I'm sure that you can look up his actual age because dates are very important at certain times of the game. So you play this kid, and his great uncle was the former owner of this rather large and expansive estate, and this is the early 1900s. He has bequeathed this estate to you in his will under the condition that you are able to solve its mysteries and reach the rumored Room 46, which, as far as everybody else is concerned, doesn't exist. But you need to figure out how it exists, where it is, get there, and if you do so, then you will be named the heir to the estate, the title, the lands, and all that comes with it as far as the aristocracy goes. The thing is that the estate itself is a magical estate, wherein it starts every day with one room with 3 doors, and every time that you interact with one of those doors, you are given a random selection of 3 potential blueprints that represent a room that could be on the other side. And you have to make your way through the estate, solving puzzles, gaining materials as far as keys and gems, making sure you don't get too tired and you can traverse through this massive place, and eventually find your way to room 46. And when you do so, welcome to the end of the prologue. Because this game is huge, it's expansive, almost everything is a puzzle, and almost every room has a puzzle in it. It's just never immediately obvious. Some of them are pretty obvious. You walk into the parlor room, you know that, oh, hey, look, there are 3 boxes. One of them tells the truth. One of them always lies. The other one, who knows? You'll figure it out. And there are other rooms that are not very obvious in the way that their puzzles work. Sometimes you run into a room that is giving you the answer to a puzzle in a completely different part of the game. And you might not realize that till hours later. This is a game that specifically tells you a lot of the time. This is a game that specifically tells you in its little helpful keycard graphics that it leaves around the house, hey, have you considered keeping a notebook? It doesn't even help you in game. It's just like a notebook would be a very good friend. Miles is going to go grab his notebook, isn't he? He's going to go grab his notebook.
Good.
I started with notes. I started with a lot of notes on multiple sheets of paper before, personally, because this is my new hyperfixation, going and learning a whole new actual app and program called Obsidian that I'm using as a mood board, as a note-taking app, because I can take screenshots with my PC and immediately paste it there, and then I can connect the dots and write notes and everything. It is ridiculous, the amount of time I've spent notating this damn game. And Miles, you have your notebook.
Well, and so we have to be careful because I think there's so many potential spoilers we could do. And so if you haven't played the game, we're not going to spoil anything
too
crazy.
Major.
Like, we're not going to spoil any clues or puzzles. But I will say, the first thing I did is the first thing you do as a detective. You'd write down all the people, places, dates, and times, right? So I just wrote down every time I saw someone mentioned, I wrote it down. I have 6 pages of notes. Most of this was done by my second run, right? Like, don't zoom in too much if you haven't played the game, but like,
yeah,
there's so many wordplay puzzles and there's so many things you need to remember, but you can also, something that I've realized has been really nice. I have been obsessed with this game as well. And one of the advantages is I did most of these notes my first couple runs such that they can now power my other runs. So when I'm tired or burnt out from the day, I can still play and draft. And I love drafting.
You're very good at it.
So your main source of enjoyment here is the draft mechanics.
No. I mean, is that my top? Yes. Is that the totality or even like a majority? No, absolutely not. I love the mystery. So normally in a mystery, the mystery is the like titillating part as you're going along. But then once you find out what the actual truth of the matter is, it's less interesting. The more you know, the less interesting it gets. So much of the interest of a mystery is predicated on
not knowing the answer.
Things being obscured. However, the more you dig into these mysteries, the more interested I become. The more I'm like, oh, the plot, it's good. The story is good. The characters are good. I like these characters. I like this writing. I want to know more. And me learning more makes me only want to know more.
And then you keep learning more. And then you realize that virtually every character is important. Any name that is there will be referenced somewhere else. Will it help you? Maybe.
Probably.
I'm
so glad I wrote down everyone's names from the very beginning. Like, names, my God. Because then
names are great. Names can also be very confusing when there are multiple names, when there are pen names, when there are alternate names, when there are people that lie. There's a lot of lying going on everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I've only put about 3 hours into the game. I mean, my Steam counter is ticking up literally right now because I got on a pretty
Steam
decent
for that.
run.
I hate it so much. Steam will probably tell me I have like 3 or 4 full days in this game, but that's because I play like a run in the morning, but I can't finish a day, and then I just sit it there and leave it while I go do other things for the day. I come back 8 hours later, and that timer is like, oh, you've been playing for 8 hours. I really haven't, though. Because the pause means nothing. The pause really means nothing. Even the game itself keeps ticking if it's paused, because there are in-game clocks that you can see turn and move. They won't tick over to a new day if it crosses over the 12 twice, but still,
that's good to know.
Yeah.
And so it is a roguelike. So every run is, between 20 and 60 minutes.
Yeah.
The better you do, the longer the day is.
And one of the general rules, because it's a roguelite, is the best option, if you are given a choice to it, is an option that will help you not now, but later. If you are given an option that will permanently increase anything for future runs, that'll do whatever, do that.
I want to tell you what my allowance is after we're done recording, because I don't want...
Did it involve going to the laundry?
Oh, no, I powered the.
Okay. All right.
So
and I'm sitting here 3 hours in, barely scratching the surface of this thing. To give you an idea, I'm on day 8 now. Like literally right now.
Cool.
And I just got the magnifying glass
for the first time.
So I finally got access to the computer system. But it was on a completely garbage run. So the only documents I had access to were luckily the password, so that I could finally get the password to the computer system. What's it called? In the boudoir, the photo of the Christmas Day when they got the safe, which I'm still trying to figure out how to open that safe. And I'm sure that's...
I mean, and one thing is, a lot of the...
Is the clue in another room? Just let me know.
No. Well, yes and no.
Well, that's what I was actually about to say. So many of the clues are within the same room, but if you can't figure it out, going to other rooms will help you. And so I really like that about this game, where it's basically like a difficulty setting. Like even now, like I'm like 25 hours in, I'm still getting clues for early things that, like, if I had ever gotten stuck, eventually I could have just grinded it out by getting enough clues and like, hey, idiot, here's how it works, which is
both great and then terrible. So not to give spoilers, but there is a point I was in a room and I was doing a thing in this room that gave you either information or hints or things. And then once I got to the final hint, I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. It's going to be amazing. And then it hands me a hint for a puzzle I already solved like hours ago. And I'm like, okay, that would have been great for someone that came here first and did this first. But I already got that. Thank you. I could have used any other hint except that one.
It's
let me tell you another story.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Or do you want to go first, Miles?
Well, I was just saying, because Geoff was talking about he's 3 hours or 3 or so hours in and he's on day 8. That was my day 2 was 2.5 hours. I got 45 or 44 rooms. Like I did all but one room in the house. Like
in the house.
Drafting, just like, it's very natural to me. Like I played it after my wife. And so she was watching me and she's like, how are you doing this? And the thing is, I was not good at many elements of it. Like I was making mistakes left and right, and I make more now than I did at the beginning. But I was just being so meticulous about everything and just like, thinking about every little decision I made, such that I maximized day 2, almost
perfectly.
did it on day 2. Like almost like even got to room 46 on day 2 of my first run without knowing how anything worked. And then it took me another like 15 days to actually get to room 46 because I kept making stupid mistakes after that.
So the story that I have, and I figured out how to tell this story to relay my experience without spoilers, because all I'm talking about is keys and rooms. So you get keys over the course of the game to unlock doors, because in the north, the more north that you go in the manor, the more doors are either locked with keys or locked with security doors. And sometimes you'll find special keys that do special things. I think the most common is the silver key that makes it more likely that you're going to get a room with 3 doors on the other side. But this story involves me finding one specific key that was pretty unique and pretty cool. And I liked this key. I liked the look of it. And in the run that I got it, I was like, I don't know what this is for. I don't know where it goes. I'm sure it'll disappear and I'll find it again later. So I lose it because you lose everything at the start of a new day. Come to like 2 or 3 days later, I'm exploring the house, I'm finding new things, I'm solving puzzles, and then I find myself standing in front of a door that has a symbol on it that was identical to the key. And I'm like, cool, I know where that key goes now. I don't have it this run, and I'm not going to get it this run, but that's good to know. A couple more days later, in-game, I'm exploring more things, finding new things, and then I find myself in front of another door with the same symbol on it. And I'm like, oh my god, this key can be used in multiple places. This is great. Another couple of days go by, and I find the key again, and I have just enough steps to get to that first door. And I'm like, I'm going to find out what's on the other side of that door. And I get there, and I open the door, and I find myself in the other room with the second door. I spent all of that time, and I had already explored on the other side of this frickin' locked door. Welcome to Blueprints.
So roguelikes like do something to my brain where experiences like that are actually still exhilarating. Like I don't even get mad. I'm just like, oh, you got me, game. You got me. Like I feel like everything, especially when it's like all laid out like this and so perfectly.
I was
like,
so pissed though because of
I'm sure you were.
Because you know what their door that is.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I do not.
And how much of a pain it is to get that door open. And after all of that,
my
fixed
favorite.
It.
You did it!
Oh,
Congratulations!
My favorite thing.
Yeah,
in the
it's
game,
loose now though.
Oh.
Sorry.
My favorite thing in the game to do is to do the experiments. There's a room called the laboratory,
the lab,
where you can run experiments. And so I basically changed everything about the way I played to make sure I could get the laboratory as early as possible in every single run. And I basically have gotten it to that point.
Or
now,
get access to its computer as soon as possible.
I just do that. And like, it's all the permanent upgrades make you feel so powerful in this game.
They do.
Like, I love them very much. And they feel like you have to work really hard for them. The problem is, sometimes in this game, the solution is a pun. And it's actually quite common that the solution is a pun. And those are the puzzles that are the most frustrating for me because I feel like there's a lot of wordplay, but the puns just always feel like not a stretch, but like, goodness, I have to like say everything out loud. And so my wife has given me a couple hints.
Reading things out loud is super helpful.
Where she just says, can you tell me what you think the clue is? Like, that's the hint she gives me, right? And then I say it to her and she's like, uh-huh. After I like, while I'm saying it, realize I'm an idiot.
I mean, that they tutorialize that with the title of the game, though.
Blueprints, yeah. But there is a blueprints and a red prince and a lot of other things too.
Yeah.
There are crowns and thrones. There's a castle somewhere, maybe. You don't know.
I adore the heck out of this game. Go ahead, Geoff.
Like, what little I have played seems really cool. It seems like the rabbit hole that I could spend the next month of my life diving into.
I want to give shout outs to my friend Dax, who after I got into room 46, because we're friends on Steam, so he got the little notification that, hey, I got the trophy for being in 46. And this is what he told me. He's like, hey, now you can look forward to reclaiming the throne, opening the castle crypt, finding the second estate, unlocking the full sanctum, breaking a family curse, and eating a fruit salad. I may have made several of those up, but you won't know. And I was just like, you son of a...
Oh, man.
The mysteries that open up after you get to room 46 are crazy. Like, it does really feel like, not the tutorial, like it does feel, when the credits roll, you feel like you did do
something.
But like,
I mean, no, that's how like all good roguelikes are designed. Or roguelites, I should say.
Yeah.
All good roguelites have the like initial run that kind of gets you used to the rhythm of the mechanics and then the like real challenge run after that.
Yeah. And I mean, that makes a lot of sense here, because I actually feel like, especially now looking back on what I've done so far, the mystery or the puzzle of getting to room 46 was probably the least interesting one out of a lot of the ones that I did. Because it's like, hey, do I want to keep drafting to try and get up to the antechamber, which is the only other room in the top of the manor that you can see? Or do I want to play around with this boiler room I just pulled? I think I want to play around with this boiler room I just pulled. Yeah. And that is just infinitely more fun to me.
The boiler room puzzle is really fun.
Yeah, I'm actually, like, a part of me is glad that I don't have to redo it every time, because that would be a real pain. But I am a little sad every time I get it, and it's just like, okay, well, I've solved the puzzle in the room. I just need to turn on the boiler now. I guess I'll do that.
I woke up early today, and I spent, I think, 30 minutes in the pump room.
Only 30?
It's just like
the pump room's a pain, man. I hate it.
All these little puzzles, all these little rooms have magnitudes. And yeah,
they do.
The thing is, I do wish we got like multiple boiler room puzzles, because that one was pretty good.
I mean, the pump room is kind of another boiler room. It's like I've only done that with the pool, and that was a whole because I didn't unlock any other water features that run through.
Yeah.
But it's still worth it to drain the pool, to figure out how to drain the pool just to get the
stuff at the bottom of it. Yeah.
All the stuff at the bottom.
Yeah. I've yet to do that, actually.
I'm very
No, I'm serious. I have not drained the pool. I know I can do it, but I haven't.
I keep finding car keys on days I can't get to the garage.
Oh my god, car
painful.
keys. You want to know what the freaking car key is used for? To go bring it to the freaking trading post and swap it for something actually useful. Anytime I get the car keys, I am already beyond where I can pull the garage. And even when you don't, like, okay, so I got the car keys, and the car in the garage may have a couple of gems or a few dice for me, but like I've never found it to be useful. The more useful thing is pulling the garage itself and getting 3 keys.
But there's a way to open the garage door and get to the west side of the
Do you think I did not do that the first time I ever entered the garage by accident? So now anytime I get car keys, I'm like, all right, well, I'll take the 3 normal keys in the garage and call it a day.
Can you just open the door in the garage?
No, it needs to be powered.
Yeah, so you need to go to the utility closet first, right?
Or something else that'll power a room, yeah. There are multiple ways to open the garage door.
Okay.
Sounds like you got pretty far in 3 hours, Geoff.
Yeah. You're doing really well in 8 days, if you're already talking about getting to the west side of the estate. That's pretty good.
I found some decent clues. I just I'm not as good at drafting as Miles, so I end up getting stuck. Well, but I'm starting to figure out. So like initially I was just like worrying about paths, but like
making sure you have as many doors as possible.
But like now I'm like, okay, so prioritize gems then paths. Mm-hmm. Cause getting gem stuck, it has like ended my runs multiple times.
Yeah.
So like I used to like go for the security room early, but like on a recent run, I had the den pop up and the security room, and I was like, okay, well I should get the den because it's
gems,
the same. It's the same amount of pathways, and I get a gem instead of having to give it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like figuring it out. It's a really, really clever system for
it
like
is super clever.
There's so many great design influences I'm already seeing. Like, so to describe this to somebody who's never played it, I would say it's kind of like House of Leaves, the book. Like it's very that concept of like an infinite house with infinite mysteries inside of it.
Yeah.
And then a little bit Betrayal at the House on the Hill, which that's one of the greatest board games of all time. A lot of board game influence.
Honestly, there is at least one room in this house that I would bet money is directly inspired by that game. There is a room in this house that the first time I pulled it, I'm like, oh, that's Betrayal at the House on the Hill. That has to be.
Okay. Looking forward to finding that eventually.
I don't like pulling that room. It's both like you think it's a great room when you look at it and until you play it, and then you're like, oh wait, no, this is terrible. This is actually legitimate garbage. Why did I pull this?
Betrayal at the House on the Hill.
Betrayal at the House on the Hill. But you should pull every room at least once.
Yeah, at least once. I mean,
you get an achievement for it.
There's more than 46 potential rooms, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The 46 just refers to, I think, the amount of blue rooms there are.
Yeah.
As far as like what was originally supposed to be in the drafting pool, you can get other blue rooms that you find that weren't in the drafting pool for one reason or another and add them to the drafting pool, but it wasn't part of the original 46.
Yeah. So I haven't done that much. I've only gotten one permanent upgrade.
The amount of runs that I've had an upgrade disc and then not had a terminal that I could get to.
Oh wait, no, I'm not upgrade disc. No. Okay, then in that case, no. I guess I've only
You've not found an upgrade disc yet?
No.
In 8 days? I think I found my first one on day 1 or 2.
Well,
I just couldn't figure out how to use it for a while.
Okay, maybe they're around, but like I don't think they show up on the inventory count in the security room.
Do, yeah.
They do?
Yep.
Okay, then I've just never rolled one.
You have to usually do a pretty hard puzzle to get one.
Okay, well, yeah, so I rolled, but I did with the the laboratory plus the security room on an early day, plus the boiler room. I was able to unlock the cave really early on.
Oh, wow.
Ooh. Wow.
Cave in 8 days. I didn't get the cave until somewhere in the 20s.
Same.
But I just got very bad luck with getting the lab hooked up properly.
Yeah, no, I like rolled, it was like the first or second time I rolled security room. It just, both sides gave me the boiler room and the lab. So I was just, nice. Okay, I'll figure this out. And I did I got the lab online and then I did the puzzle and, it was, I mean, it's a very interesting game.
I'm going to spend many, many more hours into it. Because there are a lot of things that I want to know the answers to. Damn it.
Yeah. And it's the thing is, it's reviewer bait in the way of it's clearly designed for people who play a lot of video games and like spend a lot of time thinking about game design.
Yeah.
And like
it's a game for gamers.
The idea that you can make a randomly generated mist work is kind of the hook, right? It's like
how it was sold to me is this is the greatest game since Revan, the sequel to Myst.
Yeah, I mean, it's, that's a very good way to pitch it. It is a Myst type game that you can play a lot longer than Myst, and even keep playing after you've solved it.
And has some puzzles that are just as bullcrap and annoying as freaking Myst.
But I think it's the more legit kind of reviewer bait, because there's two kinds of video game reviewer bait. And I say this as somebody who has reviewed video games. You can find my reviews on Metacritic. I have done that grind. There's two kinds of reviewer bait. This is the kind that's actually good because it takes a lot of time. Like, you actually have to spend a lot of time completing the game. But you can tell it's good right away if you know what you're talking about. The other kind of reviewer bait is the kind of game that's over in guaranteed 8 to 12 hours, maybe 20. Prestige Tour, Last of Us. I mean, basically the Sony core game design, where it's just like one step up from a walking simulator in terms of interactivity, and designed to allow somebody who is writing a video game review to have a comfortable amount of time to write their review and have no friction going through the experience, which, if you've ever wondered why The Last of Us so high, why Uncharted so high, it's because game reviews are a nightmare.
Especially if you need to do them fairly often. Like if you need to get like a review done every week or two, it's like, if you're doing it for the launch deadline, that too. Who knows how long you've been given? Like if you're handed a game and you're like, hey, embargo's up in like a week.
Oh man, I've had embargoes up in 3 days.
Oh.
So yeah, the Uncharteds of the world, godsend in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the kind where the reviewer wants to play more and fundamentally understands that they've got something special there.
Yeah. And I mean, I just like how knowledge is a factor in this game, but not in the same way of other games. So I would almost compare it to another one of my favorite games, which is Outer Wilds, which is also a puzzle game to a point. But the difference between the two is Outer Wilds you could beat in 20 minutes as long as you know what you have to do. In Blueprints, you could know what you have to do to get to room 46. But the house may be like, not today. Not today. Not feeling it.
It's just not happening.
Nah. You don't want that room you need. You don't need that. You know what you do need? You need the weightlifting room. You should go work out some more. That's what you need. Oh, by the way, all the doors are locked. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't have any keys? Sucks.
In the weightlifting room?
There's a weightlifting room. Get
I've drafted it once. It
I'm so
ended
sorry.
my run.
Yeah, of course it did.
That one is my least favorite room, followed by the chapel. Though I'm sure the chapel will eventually become my favorite room because I'm pretty sure I know how to break it under my heel and make it my favorite room of all time. I just haven't gotten the workshop and then all the pieces that I need. I know how to. I'm fairly certain I know how to break the chapel.
You actually just taught me how to break the chapel.
Congrats!
I just break the chapel. Thank you. I am very appreciative.
Okay, I'm completely in the dark, but I'm looking forward to that. The chapel I don't mind too much because like 1 coin when you walk through it, if you plan your routes well enough, you can have that money spent by the time you have to go through it.
I just end up getting, especially in my early runs, I got the chapel super early, and it's like I don't want to toss it because it's 2 other doors, assuming they're positioned correctly. So it's like, but I mean, early game for me, I didn't use coins all that much. I would get the commissary in the kitchen, and I'm like, I can't do anything with these rooms. I don't got enough coins. But later in the game, when things start costing a lot, you start to care about coins.
By the time I beat the game, or like got to the room 46, my allowance was 23 gold a day.
Nice.
Now it's 46.
Oh wait, you get an allowance? Man, I haven't even unlocked that.
Yeah. Now it's 46.
I have not even unlocked the allowance. I guess I've taken a pretty orthogonal route through my progression.
The fact that you have the cave, and you haven't gotten an allowance yet is very funny to me.
I mean, I also unlocked the cave before getting an allowance. Not many days before, but
no, he's talking about the side cave.
Yeah,
yeah. But you didn't get allowance until that late.
Yeah, I did. Remember when I said that like room 46 became like my least interesting puzzle? I was focused on a lot of other stuff, Miles, including the lab. The lab was
great.
Yeah, the lab was very fun. That was one of the ones that was difficult, but fun. There are other puzzles in this game that are not fun. When you get through the drawing room, Geoff, let us know. Please tell me how much of a pain the drawing room is for you.
So I've unlocked it just as...
Oh, you'll unlock it very quickly. It's not hard to unlock, but there's a puzzle in it.
I hate that
when
puzzle.
You get that...
That's the one that made me the maddest, by the way.
Yeah.
Wait. So like the puzzle... Because there's no interactive objects in it right
yes,
now.
So you say.
Oh, geez. Okay, well, I've got it on my current run, so maybe I'll...
have a look around.
When we're done here, I'll go poke around in there.
Have you been to the rumpus room yet?
Think so, yeah.
The rumpus room is great. I love the rumpus room.
With the genie in it. Yeah.
No, it's like my favorite room. Anytime I get the rumpus room, I'm like, I don't care if this is going to end my run. I'm going to go talk to Alzara. I love Alzara. You hear the sound of a dropping coin.
You're too good at that.
You are now talking to the great Alzara.
Oh.
I love Alzara so much. He hasn't given me like almost any useful information ever, but I don't care. No, he keeps giving me clues for things I've solved, and I'm like, dude.
Yeah, but he's very poetic about it.
He is
and
very
it's only
one
coin.
1 coin per day. Yeah.
Which is not that big a
deal.
Well,
I mean, the rumpus room also gives you 8 by walking into it, so it's fine.
Like, this is game of the year to me so far. I don't think it's going to be very easy to beat.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I've still got to play Expedition 33 and 100 Line Last Defense Academy, both of which I think are real strong contenders, especially 100 Line.
From what I've seen from Expedition 33, that game's right up my alley. I just don't know if I'll have the time. The reason why I love Blueprints is because I can just go in and do a day. And just do a day, make a couple of notes, and then I'm good. And that's fine. That's why I love that style of game. That's why I got into Hades so much when Hades came out, and why I'm waiting for Hades 2 to actually finish being made. Even though I've already done a lot of Hades 2 playing as well. It's like I like the games where, because of my limited amount of playtime, I can pick it up and feel like I've meaningfully accomplished something in about half hour, 45 minutes, and then pick it up another day. I love that. That's my game for right now. That's my jam.
You've just described the appeal of roguelites in a nutshell, right?
That's why I love them. It's great.
It's self-contained, almost arcade style. Just a single play session is a complete game for the dads out there who have dad schedules.
Yep.
I will say, Geoff, that Balatro does not fit this definition because you can. It's like a Pringle. You can never eat just one.
Yeah, no, Balatro is a different kind of roguelike. Balatro is
a life-ruining one.
It's pure math, right?
Yeah,
it's like Balatro is just feeding your gambling addiction, but in like a way where you feel like you have control over it and it won't actually ruin your life. It might, but it is a lot harder for it to ruin your life than Stake.com. Cross that sponsor off the list.
Thank God.
But no, like I love this genre, and that's why anytime I mention the following words, I get a lot of hate, which is I have yet to play Slay the Spire.
Dude,
you have Slay. So the thing is, Slay the Spire is more of a Balatro than it is a Blueprints, I would say. It's got the drafting.
Is that just because it's cards specifically?
No, because it's like this pure math run where you're like
You can turn Blueprints into that. I've turned Blueprints into a math run.
Like Slay the Spire to me is you get those snowballing synergies.
Get the conservatory, dude. Unlock the conservatory. My favorite room.
I really like unlocking the bedroom that gives you +5 steps for every bedroom that you open.
#synergy.
Was that the nursery?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Blueprints is a little bit less about the direct synergies and more about like the puzzle solving synergies, I think, where like you get clues in different rooms that like
help
slowly build. Unlocking the magnifying glass, for example.
The magnifying glass is such a great tool, and which is why I hate that I don't have it when I need it.
I have
only
a
list of like
once.
3 different rooms that I'm just like, when magnifying glass, go here. And I never get both those rooms and the magnifying glass anymore.
One time I put my I needed a magnifying lens for something extremely badly. So I finished a run and I put it in the coat check.
Yeah.
And then I found out if you put something in the coat check, it'll never show up. So I had gotten the trading post and I traded every item hundreds of times. And I just like went through everything. I had the commissary, I had all these rooms to get items. I like got the attic and I had all 8 items. And I'm like, where's the magnifying lens? And then I'm telling this to my wife and she's like, you left it in the coat check, dude.
Oh, I just put it in the fucking coat check.
So you better draw the coat check again.
You better.
This is why I don't use the coat check. Because if I use the coat check, you want to know what I would put in the coat check every day if I could guarantee that the coat check showed up on like rank 1 or 2? I'd put a freaking shovel in there. I love the shovel. The shovel is my favorite item in this game. It is so good and also so broken. I love it.
I mean, it's kind of just extra item drops in green rooms, but that's so powerful.
You can do more than that, man. You can do a lot.
You can do a lot with it? Okay.
You can do so much.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about an upgraded shovel, which you can also do. I'm just talking about the shovel.
Okay, good to know. I'm learning a lot, just kind of indirectly.
I feel like we're not spoiling things too bad either. Too bad.
Yeah. I mean, this discussion, I'm worried it might be a little too vague for people who haven't seen the game at all.
I mean, we're trying not to spoil too many things. Like I could tell you, Geoff, that you should really think about getting a dog. And I don't really think you have the context to understand that. And once you do, you will have a dog. And then you'll get it.
Okay. Good to know.
Because that's the thing. There are so many things in this game where I can be super vague. So like that story about the door with the symbol on it, once you see it, you'll be like, oh crap, this is the one that Tristan was saying. And I'm like, yeah, it is. You're welcome. Now you know.
Or you'll be like me. And when we talked about it last week briefly, and I said, and I took all the notes of all the pictures, and then I realized the next day that I had messed up and it was all useless. And I had to do it again. Like,
yep.
you guys know what I'm talking about now, but I don't know if you even did at that point, Geoff.
I'm hitting that stage. I'm figuring out how to use the secret passage room.
Yeah.
I initially really underrated that one, but like actually that seems like a really powerful thing, especially if you save it for late in your run when you like know roughly what your draft pool is, you can like guarantee a connection.
Well, also if you have dice, you can basically spam.
Do you know the secret about the secret passageway? It's a mechanic. No. If you use it enough, it'll just tell you, which is sometimes if you use the secret passageway, it'll be like, oh yeah, you know this room that costs like 3 or 4 gems? Yeah, just have it. Just take it.
Yeah.
We'll waive the cost.
Wow. Okay. Good to know.
Now you still need to pull it, and you need to hope that it decides that that's the room it wants to give you as a freebie. But it'll do it.
From time to time.
From time to time.
From time to time.
From time to time.
Yeah, so Blueprint's good video game. People at home, you should play it if you haven't already.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you like Myst, Hades,
Magic the
Balatro, Magic the Gathering.
Which the game is made by the guy who hosts. Funded it with Magic money because he's the guy who has the biggest Magic spoiler website. So that's how he funded the development of the game, was mythicspoiler.com.
That's hilarious.
Oh, so it literally is just like a Magic draft player's dream game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to play Magic, the best game of all time. So yeah, this is a dream.
An absolute dream.
The best game of all time?
Yeah, Magic the Gathering. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard to make good arguments on that, considering how both popular and prevalent Magic Gathering has been in the last 30 years. It really, I feel like that is a very... I don't even like Magic, and I think that's an apt description for
context of the format-dependent statement. Because when the bird was loose, Magic was the worst game.
No, so that's a format, right? Like, so the thing is, Magic is more of a system. It's almost like a deck of playing cards, which you could consider a better game than Magic, but Magic has more specific parameters and a specific rule set. And so you can make Magic whatever you want. My favorite way to play Magic is to draft specifically a cube that someone made for the specific purpose of drafting with 7 of their closest buddies, right? Like, and then that is a hyper customizable experience every time.
I recently learned about Don.
Yeah.
Which seems like a super cool, actually like a super cool way to play a card game. For those at home who don't know, Don is a version of Magic where everybody plays with the same deck. And that deck only has one creature that can attack in it, which is called Don, which is a fish guy who can only attack if your opponent has an island. And most of the land in the deck is islands, but not all of it. Maybe I'll get into Magic is what I'm saying. Probably. Final Fantasy's out right now, if I could get my hands on that for less than $500. We should move on.
Yeah.
So we all agree Blueprints is great. You should play it. Today, our main topic is the first slam dunk Toei Animation's 2022 film, directed by the wonderful Takahiko Inoue in his directorial debut. This movie...
And if you don't know who Takahiko Inoue is, that is the creator of Slam Dunk, the original manga, as well as Vagabond, I believe, right?
That's right. And Real.
Just think about that for a moment. This dude went ahead and he made a manga back in the late 80s, early 90s that got really popular. It got an anime adaptation in the 90s. It ended somewhere in the 2000s. 20 years go by, and then he walks up to Toei and he's like, yeah, can I direct a movie about my own book?
I mean...
And then this is what comes out of it.
You're kind of underselling just a manga. It literally carried Shonen Jump as hard as Dragon Ball.
Literally, when it was Dragon Ball and Slam Dunk in Weekly Shonen Jump, it had like 4 times as many subscribers as it does today, even including digital subscribers. Like, this was the highest period of manga readership in the world at any time.
Or comic readership, period.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was the big two. There is no big three. There is a big two.
There's big two. It's Dragon Ball and
Slam Dunk and Dragon Ball.
Amen. And Geoff, actually, on the note of Inoue being incredible for being the director of this, and he is actually one of my favorite manga authors. Vagabond is maybe my favorite manga.
I need to read it really badly.
Oh boy, do you. You both very, very much do.
That's a fetch quest.
Inoue is the third director I'm aware of who has directed an adaptation of his own manga. Do you know the other two anime directors who've done this?
Hayao Miyazaki and
Katsuhiro Otomo.
Oh, and there's a third, which is Tezuka. So.
Oh yeah, Tezuka. Yeah, obviously Tezuka.
But like that, doesn't that set up this movie pretty well? Like
it does.
This is the level Inoue is at. Like this is an auteur's film. This is a filmmaker's film. This is a CG film, which can turn some people off. But the thing is, if you give the man with the greatest directorial vision in human history, the greatest eye for framing a shot, the camera for the whole movie, and you say, you know what, we're going to make it 3D CG, so you're going to have maximum movement of camera, and you can change your mind, and we can make it edits as we go.
Adjust on the fly, yeah.
And you basically say, hey, what if we took the most like pivotal basketball game from like volume 17 of your manga and said, you get to just do that from every angle possible for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And also make it the reintroduction for people to Slam Dunk as a franchise.
And it does that so well as someone who never watched any Slam Dunk at all before watching this film.
Yeah, no, you get what each character is motivated by. I think I was so surprised because after I was done watching it last night, I went to go watch the first episode.
Oh, that's rough.
Of the original Slam Dunk. I don't think that's rough. It's actually it's a really good. No,
it's still a really good adaptation. But I mean, you jump in between 2023 really good 3D CG to 90s cell animation, which it was. It's the era of how many episodes did Slam Dunk have? A
just
lot.
26. No, just 26 or so.
I thought it had more than that. I thought it was at least in the 50s.
It didn't cover very much.
No. Slam Dunk, the original series, is 8 seasons on Netflix.
Then I've only watched 26 episodes.
No, I thought Slam Dunk had a lot of episodes.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. It was carrying Shonen Jump in the just keep running the adaptation until we run out of manga era of adaptations. So it's like I'm sure that adaptation gets very slow.
Well, no. So I've watched 26 episodes. This is probably I'm confusing myself because I watched 26 episodes of it. It's extremely good. And yeah, it goes on for 101, but the anime is extremely good. Like from what I saw, it never slows down, and I don't think I would be surprised if it does, to be honest.
What I also like about it is like if you have watched or started to watch the older 90s anime, as I have, you start to realize that the tone of the original anime and this film are very different, and I like that. I like that a lot. I like the fact that you have the mangaka come in and say, okay, so the protagonist for all of Slam Dunk might not be the best fit for our number one spot for this movie.
So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Which I find fascinating, right?
The fact that we go from Sakuragi to Miyagi as the main protagonist
like
POV?
The fact that Sakura, after watching the movie, Miyagi, Ryota, is the main character of this movie, Slam Dunk. Yeah, like it's all framed from the perspective of his backstory, his brother's grudge, or not grudge, but his ambition of beating this legendary basketball team, Sano, which the whole movie is based around this game against Sano High School.
That just occasionally flashes back. Well, not occasionally, a lot. It flashes back to tell you different points of view, different backstories of not just Miyagi, but like the whole team and even some members of the opposing team. We get a decent amount of backstory to as well, which is real nice.
Yeah, which is the equivalent of Seijo in Haikyuu, for example. Watching this, I was like, okay, I'm seeing a lot of where Haikyuu came from. So going from the movie straight to the episode, like, it's such a difference in tone, because the first episode is you've got this goofball,
delinquent-esque character. They're all sort of delinquents.
They're all. I mean, it's
in 90s anime speak. They're very delinquent coded.
Yeah, but like Sakuragi, his whole thing, he's like the guy everybody assumes is a delinquent, even though he's not.
Yeah.
That's his niche. But he's this goofy guy who keeps getting rejected by girls, and he joins a basketball team basically because a cute girl asked him to, and that's the story of Slam Dunk. And it turns out that despite having never played basketball before, he is a genius, and he's repurposed in the movie as a supporting character who's just like,
who's still a genius,
talking out of his ass. Like, but you're introduced to him at first. He's talking out of his ass. He's like, I'm the greatest genius to ever play basketball, and then double dribbles.
Yeah.
Right?
They spend a lot of time saying that, oh yeah, no, he only started like 4 months ago. He's only been playing basketball for like a handful of months, and they're going up, not only is his teammates people that have been playing the game for years, but they're going up against people who've been playing for literal since diapers, probably.
And he's literally at a point in his development where coach has to explain to him that denying your opponent a point and also getting a point is equivalent to getting 2 points. And
so good.
Like, you see his mind blown in real time by that incredibly basic strategic information about basketball.
I also love the cameo by Sakamoto.
The coach is so good.
Coach is so good.
But
that mustache quiver, ooh.
It's so incredible how like Inoue was able to look back at his manga, right? Because he spent, with any Shonen Jump manga, with any, weekly shonen manga in general, there is a period of figuring out what the manga actually is, right? You start with an interesting hook. And usually if it's not interesting enough, you get dropped immediately by your editor. But assuming that doesn't go on, you get 2 to 3 volumes to tell your story, and then you're done, right? Unless you do something crazy like Jujutsu Kaisen, where like Gege was this close to getting canceled, and he was like, screw it, I'm going to kill off my main character in the middle of like the second arc. And
wasn't there also like big editorial additions for like Dr. Stone, and it was going to go a different way, and then they're like, no, you got to change this, and then it made it a lot better.
Yeah, there's a lot of those. Sometimes they make them worse. Like, I would say The Promised Neverland, most of the editorial changes on that, any of them would be spoilers, but there was like a lot of decisions made by the editor that kind of rubbed people the wrong way. But like here, I mean, even when the editor's not interfering with like Dragon Ball, I believe with Slam Dunk, there's that period of like making the story up as you go along, exploring the characters, exploring the world, and like figuring out what the story actually is. And with the benefit of having finished the manga and decades of hindsight, Inoue was able to go back to this story and be like, okay, so I feel like this game with Sano is where this story really begins. And Miyagi is the main character. Sakuragi was never the real main character.
They are all the main character in their own parts, but things do change. Because like when you do watch the old Slam Dunk, they don't really play basketball as a team until episode 13. And that's a practice game. So much time is spent on like the little romance between Sakuragi and what is her name? Crap. She has a name. Akagi.
Haruko.
Yeah, Haruko Akagi.
Because there's 2 Akagis.
Because there's 2 Akagis. Because her brother is the captain of the basketball team, and that's lovely, isn't it? But it's like there is she barely has much to do in this film. She has a couple of lines near the top end, but other than that, she just becomes a cheerleader with everybody else. Like, I have no doubt that if I actually watched or read the manga, that I would get so much more out of the people in the audience stand for this film. because I feel like they're all references to other parts of the story.
This is literally the end of the manga, right? And it still feels like it is not only the beginning, but I feel like it's so beginner friendly that you can just jump in and you feel like you don't even need to know who those characters are to understand everything about them. That's not only necessary for this story, but even for like implying the depth that goes on beyond without making you feel like you're missing things.
Is it the end of the manga or like the start of the like final tournament or something? Because I believe they're in round 1. They got seeded against this legendary team, and everybody just assumes it's a free win for them.
I think it's like the last full game or something. It's pretty close to the end of the manga.
My understanding,
it felt like the start of
my understanding is that this was near the end of the manga, maybe not quite the end of the manga, but my other understanding is that this game was not adapted in the previous adaptation.
Wasn't it?
I don't know about that, actually.
I don't think it was. We'll let the commenters tell us that we're wrong on that one.
One thing that I really wanted to point out about the main character switching thing is the first time I watched this, especially, Sakuragi still felt like the main character to me, and I felt like I totally understood what Inoue was going for in making Ryota the main character of this, because this does feel like Ryota's story, but it feels like almost we're watching that secondary character have his arc more so than we're watching the main character, because Sakuragi, all the energy in the game and the story seems to still flow around him, like he's the black hole of the narrative.
Nobody would have got pumped if he didn't jump onto the judges' table and be like, yo, we're going to beat them. And now we have to because I did that.
And maybe it's the American in me enjoying the Dennis Rodman impersonation on screen. But like, I just was so enjoying Sakuragi every minute. Like, he's my favorite character. And it's so much fun to watch him.
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
Do his thing. And I didn't feel like I was missing anything having the POV be Ryota's for most of it. And I really loved his backstory, even though it's like a pretty standard backstory, like sad backstory. But it also, everything Inoue does, even if it's a story you've heard a million times, it's elevated by the quality of the storytelling. And again, like the pacing, the plotting, every minute feels like you're so gripped. So I had a cool opportunity with this movie because, like, I feel like the home video released my name's in the credits for marketing. I hosted the Europe premiere of this film, and then I also my company Anime Limited at the time, my coworker Carrie had this great idea to sponsor the Manchester Hong Kongers basketball tournament. So you may not know this, but Slam Dunk is so big in Asia. So Slam Dunk, the first Slam Dunk made more money in China than any Ghibli film ever.
That makes sense.
It made more money in South Korea than almost every single Disney, Pixar, and Ghibli film other than like Spirited Away. This is one of the biggest, this is the highest grossing basketball movie of all time. Higher than Space Jam, which was a cultural institution in the United States. Slam Dunk is not just like some like random anime franchise. Slam Dunk is an institution. But for the English-speaking audiences, ironically, even in America, it's not as big of a deal, which is weird. But in Asia, it has been since the 90s, like the biggest name in anime. And so instead of trying to like sell this to like random people in the UK, we're like, let's go to the expat community of Hong Kongers. So we sponsor this Hong Kongers basketball tournament. We got to do a special screening of it for them beforehand. And I have never in my life, even more than like watching like the Gurren Lagann movies with communist voice actor at Anime Expo and 4,000 people, like even more than that was watching this movie with the Hong Kongers basketball tournament in Manchester in the middle of England. And everyone knew every word, every character, everything. These characters were like their Bible. They were like religious about it. And the silence at the end of the movie, I have never heard more silence in my life than at that Manchester's Hong Konger thing. So that was the coolest experience.
So
ever.
You mean in the quiet scene at the very end,
where there's no sound?
That was like chills. A powerful minute of yeah. Oh man!
And then watching the tournament the next day, they were all. We did the tournament. We did the screening at night, and then the next day was the tournament. And so me and my 2 boys and my wife were there watching the tournament, and oh my God, they all were so fired up still from the night before from the movie that they were all playing like their lives depended on it. And they're all wearing their first slam dunk, little wristbands that my boys still wear theirs all the time. And they're just going at it. And it was the craziest basketball I've seen. And I live in America and I'm in England. I'm like, this is basketball, guys. This is basketball.
I have a curious question. Do you think that maybe one of the reasons why it hasn't caught on as much in America is because a lot of these characters are somewhat coded and, if not inspired by popular like NBA basketball stars, and Americans would just be like, well, why don't we just, watch the NBA?
Well, okay. I have the best answer for you in the world. It's because Americans are stupid. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
That's what I was going to say.
There is no reason, even if that's only more reason. Because Sakuragi is definitely Dennis Rodman. Like there's not like the inspirations are not trying to be subtle here. But you watch this movie, and when you watch a basketball game, you get boring shots. Occasionally, you'll get a close-up shot. What if the camera could go wherever you wanted it, wherever the action was? And the moment that something emotional is happening within the character's heart or soul, all of a sudden you're flashing back to that moment. And so you're not only getting the perfect angle on every single shot in the movie, and it's perfectly curated by the most brilliant mind in like the most brilliant storyboarder in the world. But then you get to go into the hearts of these characters in the perfect flashbacks timed perfectly that hit the perfect emotional beat without being saccharine or melodramatic. And it's just like, oh my God, I am seeing everything from the court like I'm like an AI who's able to go through walls. And then I'm also able to see into their hearts. And it's just, that's basketball. Watching this movie makes the NBA look like shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of true for every sports anime versus watching the actual sport. That just like
you don't get the downtimes when you're watching the anime versus the sport.
Well, no. Like the thing about being a sports fan is it's about the human stories. That is what every sports fan will tell you. Is it's really about like the story of this guy came up from this college, had this career in the NCAA, transferred into the NBA. There's all these like different stories of each team and, who gets traded and who works together. And like people get really invested in that. That's all metagame stuff that you have to like look up and be really invested from the beginning to like care about a sports season. And most people don't do that. Yes. Like a real real soap opera with real stakes. That is what the people who really like sports like about sports. And that's what sports anime gives you for free without any of that investment. And I think the fact that sports anime is not popular in America, that basically no sports anime has ever taken off in America. Haikyuu, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
But like Haikyuu's the most, and Haikyuu is mostly connecting with the Fujo audience in America and a little bit, young boys who want to get hype, who I think would also enjoy Slam Dunk if they had a chance to see it on Crunchyroll in their formative years the way that they did Haikyuu.
Probably.
But the fact that sports anime just generally do not connect with sports fans in America, even as anime is getting more popular and those sports fans are actually getting into anime to a degree, that it's not really connecting. I mean, it makes sense it doesn't connect with weebs because weebs are like, I don't like sports. I don't want to watch a thing about sports. And they don't realize that like 7 times out of 10, the best shonen battle anime are sports anime, straight up. Ippo.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
I mean, any boxing anime, literally any boxing anime, but also,
Ashita no Joe and Ippo are like my favorite sports anime.
Megalobox too.
Other than Slam Dunk.
Yeah.
I should watch the whole original anime.
Yeah, you should. But the fact that these never take off in America tells me that American sports fandom, despite what they say about the human stories, is actually just based around the gambling And even if you're not gambling, it's based on like, oh, I want to find out who's going to win this game.
Well, then how do you account for Ninja Warrior, where they give a human interest story right before they go get knocked off a thing in 20 seconds?
Ninja Warrior is good American television.
Amen.
I mean, it's also Takeshi's Castle with extra steps. But extra steps or less steps? It would be less steps.
It's
about the same amount of steps. Yeah, I think it is just indicative of the sports betting app place that whole culture is at now, and has been for a very long time, even before the sports betting apps were legal. People just don't get into Slam Dunk, even if they like the NBA, even though Slam Dunk is like watching, the peak of LeBron's career. The peak of actually, no, even the peak of Michael Jordan.
I mean, it's even better than I think any of that, because, well, one of the reasons why I got into it is because I know nothing about basketball. Like, I can only guess, like, I think maybe a 3-pointer is because you're further away from the net. I think this is how much I don't know about basketball. And so when you can watch Slam Dunk and you can find out that, hey, you don't really need to know the game, but if you watch an actual game of basketball, you kind of need to know what the rules of the game are to really get a lot out of it. But you don't need that here.
Slam Dunk, I think the first Slam Dunk explains, at the very least, the strategic value of 3-pointers, layups, dunks, etc.
But it does it like while you're watching it and while it's happening. That's not like the kind of thing that you get while actually watching the game.
No, you don't get a story that is structured in a way that helps you understand basketball better. And like, I mean,
but also it doesn't talk down to people that do know as well, which is great.
But the thing is, like, I generally do not care about sports at all. But as a byproduct of the genetic lottery, I was forced to learn basketball.
Because you're tall. I get it.
Like
honestly, for the listeners and viewers at home, most of them do not know that you make me feel small. And I am a large gentleman myself.
I am 6'6", toward the high end of that second 6.
What is that in not freedom units?
Basically 198 centimeters. So just shy of 2 meters. Yeah, so I'm a bit of a monster, and therefore I just played basketball when I was a kid. Not well, but enough to remember the rules. And watching this kind of makes me wish that I had taken my my high school coach up when he like directly came up to me and said, "Geoff, you need to play basketball on our team." And I was like, "I don't know, man. I'm not very coordinated." And he's like, "I can teach skills. I can't teach tall." And I was like, I'd rather do high school drama. Thank you. But no, thank you. I wish I could go back to that conversation and be like, yeah, I'll be on the basketball team. Why not? Because
I do think team sports in general are really valuable for human beings to do. And I would recommend
I agree.
To anyone. Like, I got a lot out of track and field, even though that's not quite the same thing. It's not, there's still good camaraderie, but like, it doesn't teach you the same skills. I think team sports are great, but I also don't watch them. But I would watch the heck out of anything in a way, writes, draws, directs. And this is like, you don't have to like basketball to love this movie.
Yeah, you really don't. You don't need to know basketball to appreciate this movie. But if you do know ball, it is, I think, a little more engaging. There's very good basketball strategy in this movie, like and it does a good job of helping you understand, even if you don't like know your basketball, that like Hisashi's whole use is his like incredible accuracy from anywhere on the court at landing them baskets, but he doesn't have that maneuverability and he doesn't have that stamina. So the other guys have to set up for him. And like in that respect, I do feel like Ryota's really the main character of this arc, not just because like the game is about the game is his brother's grudge match, right? To a certain extent. But because his maneuverability is kind of what opens the court up for them to be able to get past the various walls on Team Sano. Most of all, Kazunari, the
Mr. Number 1.
Yeah, or
number 9.
Is that number 9?
He's the ace, right?
Yeah, is the ace number 9? Am I not?
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys with buzz cuts. Oh yeah, no, AG. We got him way down here on our list.
We got him way down. Yeah, no, I started having to pay attention to them by jersey number because the opposing team specifically, a lot of them had buzz cuts, and like when everyone's moving really quickly, it was hard to tell who was who sometimes. Like even with our team, I kept on going, okay, short spiky and long spiky. Got it. Short spiky, long spiky. Short spiky, long spiky. It's good. I got it.
I do like how Inoue gave them all fresh haircuts to make them fit into 2022. Like,
I mean, I liked Sakuragi's flashbacks where he still had the not quite full pompadour, but you could see where it used to be back in the 90s.
Yeah, but it's not that like full 80s Bancho pompadour. They've all got their fades. I mean, the haircuts in this are just generally really good.
And the sneakers too.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually I wasn't short spiky, long spiky for Rukawa and Mitsui.
Yeah.
I was I would have categorized them as short spiky, very serious, and long spiky, autistic. I mean, there's always one guy on the team. Although that was another thing that kind of got me about going to the original anime. Sakuragi's love interest, Haruko, is like one of the most autism-coded women I've seen in any anime ever. She just doesn't stop talking about her special interest basketball at any point. And it's literally all she cares about. And she's just like, every conversation that she has that Sakuragi's like falling in love with her is just like this extremely technical information about the, basketball and dunking and just like.
Which again was so surprising when you get to this film and she has barely any lines.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the background characters, like you get what brought them there, and that's kind of it.
Well, they're also from like very different worlds. Like even when they were like, "Oh, hey, we should have had matching shirts." Oh, like I'd want to wear a matching shirt with you.
Yeah, the the nerds who are friends of Sakuragi, and then the bonchos who are just kind of completely transported out of time now because everybody's has their updated haircuts, but there's still these like classic 90s anime delinquents.
But it is still in the 90s because there was a kid who's not paying attention to the game, but he's got his OG Game Boy playing in the audience, and I'm like, hell yeah.
Well, also, they don't have cell phones, which is really nice. I think every piece of fiction should be set before 1990, just for that reason.
At least every horror movie.
No, all media ever. Just no cell phone.
Yeah, you're right. Every shoujo romance too, because then you can't just ask, why don't they just text each other and talk about this? For literally every plot problem in every shoujo romance that has ever existed.
I still can't wait to explain to my kids that, yeah, your grandpa sold payphones for a living. Yeah.
What's a payphone? It's that thing they use in the Matrix. What's the Matrix?
Hopefully they'll still know the Matrix. That's pretty foundational.
I mean, they've already seen Hitchcock. They know what a payphone is. They know.
That's good.
Yeah, okay.
That's good.
But like you get enough, I think, for each side character to like know what their deal is. Like
just enough.
The dude with the glasses, Kentaro,
he
gets like exactly one line where he's like tearing up. I forget exactly what he's tearing up about, but like I remember while I was watching, I was like, okay, I understand this guy's whole deal from this one moment, and I've already forgotten what it is.
Can I just say how satisfying it is to just go into the middle of a story that's already being told? Like, I am so sick of movies, especially movies of franchises, being like, here, we're going to set up this new superhero that's going to join the Avengers in 5 movies or whatever. Here's their origin story. I do not like origin stories. Just put me in where the action is already happening, where the interactions are already there. I want to see like the troubles of the relationship, not the getting together for at least some of the time, please.
I don't want to see Bruce Wayne training to be Batman. I want to see Batman.
Well, Slam Dunk really benefits from that, though, from the existence of all of the other sports manga that have copied its formula to this point. Because like anybody who's seen Haikyuu, you know, you watch the, I mean, you don't need to have seen Haikyuu to get it, but like you watch this and you're like, okay, I can fill in the entire blanks of this is when they went to recruit this character by having a fight with him. And then, you know, he sorted out his thing, and you don't have to see all of Mitsui's backstory to understand that, you know, he left the team for a while and then he came back. You don't need that explained. You just see him coming back and him talking shit about the other players. And there's a great economy of storytelling here that's enabled by all of these tropes being very familiar.
I don't even think it needs to be enabled. I think a lot of it's just enabled by the quality of the storytelling. And also, this is coming from an era of Shonen Jump where it was not expected, where you read everything before the chapter. Like, this isn't
that's
like,
true.
When I started reading Shonen Jump, I'm like, all right, I guess I'm at this point in Yu Yu Hakusho. I guess I'm at this point in Shaman King. Like, for me, that experience was great. Like, if you are a younger millennial or Gen Alpha or Gen Z, you don't understand. When we used to watch TV, we had to just watch whatever episode was playing. And if that episode was like season 2 of a show, you just watched it. And there was something cool about that. And the writers wrote it knowing that you were going to have to use context clues to figure out all the stuff that came before. And I love just jumping in. It does feel like you're picking up a volume of Jump. And you're like, what worlds will come to me today? And if this is your first Slam Dunk chapter, that's okay. Every chapter can be someone's first Slam Dunk chapter. And spoilers are not the worst thing in the world.
I do miss that because, like, when I was growing up, I watched Digimon Adventure, but it wasn't until I was an adult that I actually watched the first episode of Digimon Adventure. Because anytime they restarted the rerun, that's the episode I missed. It took years to see the first episode of Digimon Adventure, but I didn't care.
You didn't have the clamshell VHS of the first 2 episodes?
No, I had the VHS first couple of episodes of Pokemon instead, so I never missed those.
Pikachu, I Choose You. Great VHS.
Yeah, but it didn't come in a clamshell. The Digimon ones were the clamshells. Those were nice.
Yeah, I mean, Digimon was the premium show that nobody watched.
Some people watched it.
We all watched it.
We all watched it because we're real anime fans, right?
Absolutely.
But no, I did grow up on a playground that refused to touch anything with Digimon because everyone was convinced it was a Pokemon ripoff.
Yeah, even though it came we've all had these playground arguments before. Although the thing is, even though like the linear story of Digimon is really good, you don't need that first episode to kind of understand it. It's just how they ended up in that world. And
well, like you never do. You can experience media out of order. It's okay.
I agree.
It's okay.
You can know that I agree on this.
I know you guys agree. I'm looking at the audience. I'm not looking at you, Geoff, because I know you're on my side. I know you've got my back on this, Geoff. Get spoiled by media. Do it. Spoil yourself. Yeah, just don't read the Wikipedia page and be like, "Oh yeah, I watched that." Don't do that. But like, just walk. If someone's watching a movie, like you walk in on a housemate or a friend or a partner watching a movie and they're halfway through, just sit the down and enjoy yourself. Don't ask them any questions.
I think, I honestly think it's not the ethos now with Jump because like,
no, they expect you to read it all.
Yeah. I mean, the whole binge streaming mentality has gone to everything, but like, I would say Jump up through
pandemic.
Even when Hiroaka came out, it was very much Like it's only really Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, and
well, no, it's the digital. It's when the digital
when it went digital, the people could read everything.
The majority of people started reading Jump digitally in about 2019.
But what I'm saying is, even like there is the expectation that you read stuff from the beginning now, but like
because it's available to you.
And One Piece was kind of like, no, even One Piece you can jump in wherever you want.
Yeah,
like
One Piece is still good for that, actually. And you can watch JoJo's in any order, right, Geoff?
You can watch JoJo's in any order. I stand by you on that. And it's actually like, I understand people being like, don't skip parts because you want the whole Dio saga. My watch order got taken very out of context. It was supposed to just be like a thought experiment to show this can still be a satisfying series of questions in a different way if you start from, say, the perspective of part 4, and then you're like, who are the Joestars? I'm going back, I'm figuring this out. But like, we're in this point now where people are like, you absolutely can't skip parts. You cannot skip to Steel Ball Run. Do not skip to Steel Ball Run. There's like people preemptively getting into a defense force about this. And you know who thinks you should skip to Steel Ball Run? Hirohiko Araki. literally Steel Ball Run for the first 6 months of its run was just called Steel Ball Run.
It was not called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
It didn't get JoJo Part 7 until they moved it to monthly Seinen Jump. Not I forget the name of Jump's Seinen thing, but when they moved the magazines, they were like, oh, by the way, this is a JoJo part. But literally, they wanted people who hadn't read JoJo yet to give it a shot. And most Jump, even today, I think most Jump manga has a bit of that ethos. Me and Robico, you can jump in any point, enjoy it. My Hero Academia, I think to a lesser extent, like My Hero Academia got pretty lore heavy toward the end.
And less good in general.
Demon Slayer 2 is very like, there's no meat to any of the arcs. It's kind of just the shonen formula as a plot structure.
I feel totally fine. I'm going to go watch the movies once they're out later this year. The
Demon Slayer?
The final series. And I haven't watched it since Mugen Train. So like, I'm sure I'm missing a lot of stuff. I don't care. I'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like Demon Slayer, you kind of can jump in just because it's like, it is the shonen formula. So if you've seen any shonen anime before, you can fill in the blanks of how they got from what you've seen to the other part you've seen. But like Sakamoto Days was very jump into it. And then it kind of, now that I'm thinking about it, it became more story oriented and you like kind of need that past context. You know, you're right. Since it's gone digital, there's like less and less of that expectation of you're picking up this manga to read a story that you're maybe already into, and then you read a bunch of other stuff in the magazine because you have the magazine anyway, and that gets you into X, Y, and Z. Witch Watch is still not continuity dependent. The gag stuff generally isn't continuity dependent.
Yeah.
Slam Dunk was very much the you can jump into any arc and enjoy it.
So I know I introduced this film, but Tristan is actually the one who forwarded it out for this episode. And so we were deciding who between us was a bigger...
Well, we've been talking about it for
blueprint
a while because we wanted Geoff to watch it.
Yeah. And I'm glad I did. Oh my... Man, I was sobbing by the end of this movie.
Yeah, I was going into this thing like, I don't want to hype it, so I'm not going to tell him. But inwardly, I was like, this is going to be a repeat of Echo.
Yeah.
To a point.
I mean, that was my expectation, too.
Although it's a lot, I was not expecting the movie to get as emotional as it did. You know, I went in, I expected the hype, right? I expected it to be hype as all get out from the start. I expected good storytelling and good characters. I was not expecting to just be like the body blow after body blow of like the final half hour of this movie, when they really get into Ryota's relationship with his mom, and it builds up so masterfully, these like little bits of Ryota's story. And I do think he's for the story that they're telling here, but also in general, he makes sense as a connective thread for how all of these people kind of got into the team, except for Sakuragi, funny enough. But like
the interconnections of the team are so well explored here in just 2 hours that like you can tell there's a ton of lore behind it, but they do such a good job of showing like, hey, here are our players, here are all their overlapping relationships and how they work, and they demonstrate that so masterfully. Again, in just 2 hours, unbelievable.
It's the same as Nausicaa and Akira, I would say. It's like taking, the nobody knows those stories better than the author, right? And, in all three cases, it is a genius, like a literal genius, taking all of the pieces of their story, figuring out what is the most important part, and dialing in on it while leaving all that other stuff to the periphery so that you can pick up on it subconsciously.
So, Geoff, you came into this not having experienced any slam dunk before?
Yeah, and after that, I went and watched the first episode, and it was quite entertaining and so different. It felt like a completely different series or like a spinoff.
How did it meet your expectations? Like, what did you feel going into this? Because Tristan and I have talked about this for a couple of years now. It was like an unbelievable film, but like you also are like a big Weekly Shonen Jump guy. So like,
yeah, I mean, like, so I we were talking about Haikyuu. I immediately picked up on half a dozen things that this has influenced, not just in sports anime, but shonen battle anime. You can see shades of these characters in everything that's come out since the 90s.
But did it live up to the hype?
I think so. I mean, yeah. Like, oh, man, that I am big into music and animation syncopation as like a stylistic choice, right? And like, man, the way every single song just fits perfectly into every single moment of basketball and every single like flashback is just, it's beautiful. Just speaking of the flashbacks, I love how they communicate that, like the entire enemy team is a serious threat, right? Like every character gets their characterization on the battlefield to an extent, right? There's the big guy who's always blocking everybody, the even bigger guy who, man, when he's sobbing at the end, that got me a little. But then number 9, right? When they give you his flashback to hit, you're like, oh, they're in trouble. And it's such an efficient bit of, again, playing on shonen tropes, right? But also it establishes the rule that like you see a flashback to what drives this character, and then you see them do something insane that changes the course of this basketball game, right? And you've seen that like 3 or 4 times by that point with the members of Shokoku basketball team, the members of the red team.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. So you see several times they establish the rhythm of flashback, something awesome happens, game direction changes, and then they do this flashback with the guy on the other enemy team, and you're like, oh no. Oh no. Yeah, I was rooted to the edge of my seat basically whenever basketball was happening. It did such a good job just giving the not quite the Cliff's Notes, but like the essence of what makes each character tick right off the jump. While like you can feel that there's more depth to each of them.
Tristan, did this live up to your memories of it on rewatch?
I mean, it was better on rewatch until the end. Because now I'm like, okay, so the ending scene in America, I found out today, because I was reading some background stuff on the film, that's not in the manga. None of that is in the manga. And then I read that, I'm like, wait, is this a setup for a sequel or something else? And then like you had your whole talk of how much money this thing made, and I'm just like, is this gonna become something?
Toei, please?
I
Inoue must be working on something. I mean,
I hope so.
That's kind of the meta with a lot of these now. Like Haikyuu has that epilogue arc where everybody is adults playing.
I mean, Slam Dunk did have like an epilogue sort of short story that was done, I think, in the mid-aughts that got released that showed like everybody after either a tournament or something else, and like that's there. But like, I want more. If this did as well as it did, give us more, please. Maybe
I mean, I would love to see a sequel to this movie. I'm like, I mean, I wasn't joking when it said it like made me want to pick up a basketball again, which is something I have not felt since I was like 8, 9 years old.
I mean, it didn't go that far for me, but I know myself too well.
But you're not Tristan. You're not one of the chosen.
Really, really, really extremely tall.
Yeah. But
Miyagi's not very tall either. And he's the protagonist.
But you're also not fast, so.
Or inspired by your dead brother.
Yeah. There's a lot of layers there that you're not getting. Miyagi also kind of makes the most sense as a protagonist in a post-Haikyuu world. Because, like, now the meta for shonen sports manga is the kid who is too short for sport, but very fast and jump good. And Hinata did that. But, like...
no, I just want to watch Sakuragi kick ass. I want to watch the talented genius who is actually an idiot.
I'd rather watch Sakuragi get his ass kicked.
You think he's an idiot before you find out he's a genius. It's not the other way around.
But he's still an idiot. Let's be clear.
No, he's a genius, and genius expresses itself like that.
So I have this above every TV show we've watched, I think.
I wouldn't put it above ReZero.
Well, you can't put it above every TV show that we watched, because then you're putting it above Baccano and putting it in the number 1 spot.
Well, I'm not the one making all the decisions here. This is a group process. We're on a quest together.
I mean, I'm at that point where I'm digesting it like a day after having watched it, right?
Yeah. And, so at least where I would put it, based on our existing list, I would probably put it above Bloodlust, maybe above Dungeon Meshi. I don't know if I would put it above Jellyfish yet.
What about Mononoke?
I mean, I couldn't put it above Princess Mononoke because it came out in the same year as Frieren, and I put Frieren above it, and I would still put Frieren above it. So I personally wouldn't have it above Frieren, and I'm leaning towards not putting it above Jellyfish either.
I think if I'm looking at the list, to me, it feels like between Vampire Hunter D and Dungeon Meshi.
So we're all in the same. I mean, I'm okay with that. Like,
okay,
I would go on the higher side. Like, I'd like to put it under just below Frieren, if that's okay with you guys. How does that sound?
Frieren Princess Jellyfish?
Go Frieren, then
Slam Dunk,
then
Princess
Princess Jellyfish. My only concern is that might be a little anti-feminist of us.
All right, we'll put it between Princess Jellyfish and Dungeon Meshi for the feminists.
We'll write that in the book in brackets for the feminists.
I'm so glad you like this movie, Geoff.
Yeah, I am too. I'm always glad when I like a movie, but I mean, you guys are generally pretty good at picking out stuff that I'm gonna fall in love with.
I mean, we kind of got lucky. This one was like one of the greatest artists of our generation, living artists alive, making a movie for the first time, and somehow he could master 2 mediums in a lifetime. What the hell? That's crazy, by the way. That's great.
I would argue like at least top 5 implementations of CGI in animation, period.
Yeah.
Like it's like
this stuff from Orange, Spider-Verse.
I would actually put this above most stuff from Orange.
All stuff from Orange that I've seen.
Trigun.
I haven't seen. That's the only Orange thing I haven't seen. This is up there with like.
I like Trigun, but I would almost still put Beastars above Trigun.
Yeah, I mean, Beastars has different. Yeah.
But it's a different style too, though. So I don't think it's like a good comparison.
But this is a little bit more Paperman in terms of the implementation. Like it's hiding the CGI-ness a little bit less.
It's more like Arcane, but not to the same. We're going to color everything in with shading in the same way.
Yeah, it's. I would say, I mean, just because of the budget, sub Arcane.
Well,
but
yeah.
Like,
I think that's sucks me in more than Arcane because I don't see.
It's better cinema than Arcane.
Yeah, because it's just so much better. The direction is better, but yeah, Arcane does look better as animation. I won't.
In terms of just if we're just talking like the raw technology, I would rank it like Spider-Verse 2, Arcane, Spider-Verse 1.
The best Pixar movies. Yeah, Lupin.
Yeah, no, I don't know whether I'd put this or Lupin. Like this has better cell shading. Lupin has
Lupin
and very interesting designs. And then like under that,
a whole bunch of empty spaces, Spirits Within.
Spirits Within. No, I see, the thing is, on reflection, I wouldn't rate most Pixar things very high, because while the technology that they developed for Pixar is very impressive, I just aesthetically don't very much like the approach to realism that Pixar has. And I find basically every studio, even some of the janky DreamWorks stuff, to be more visually interesting than Pixar things of its era, except for Incredibles. Incredibles, I would say,
is incredible.
It's just the director. You just like good directors.
Yeah, I just like good direction. Yeah, that's the thing. Like if we're being objective, sure, Pixar tech is the best in the game at any given point for real simulations or whatever. But I'd rather watch Hotel Transylvania, and I think that Hotel Transylvania is a better looking movie than every prior Pixar movie, because it has.
I was waiting for it for so long. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Next time on Quest for the Best, panty and stocking. We don't talk about garter belt.